Hello, dollars. How are you all today? I'm so glad to be back with you all again today to discuss with you all about culling outside of those lines and doing business in 2025 and beyond. So, we're going to be coming live today to you, and I have someone special coming on today to talk to you about doing real estate outside of the country. And so I have started with my husband and I. So we wanted to drop some great nuggets with you all today. So come on, get your pen and pad, get ready, and here we go. Let's hit the ground running. Hello, Dollar. So we're back with you. I did the intro earlier, and we're here today, and we're going to be talking to Aki. And she's coming all the way in from Dubai by way of StreamYard with me today. So, Aki, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your mother, wife, and kind of what you do, and how did you get into real estate in Dubai?
Okay, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Aakanksha Sharma. It must be a very difficult name for most of you to pronounce. So I've shortened it to Aki. I think that's more simpler. And I'm actually a software engineer. That's how I started my career. Back in India, I was working as a software engineer. And then I fell in love and I got married and I moved to the Philippines. And that's where I was exposed to this beautiful field of real estate. And that's when I started working in the field of real estate. I started with marketing and then slowly, gradually moved on to sales over there. And then my darling husband had this intention and idea of moving to Dubai, starting his own company, his own business. So right after COVID, we moved to Dubai. Once I moved to Dubai, of course, there was nothing else that I wanted to do besides real estate because I loved it. My father was a civil engineer. I remember going to all these construction sites as a kid. And, it was, from an education perspective, I was always into softwares and computers and this and that. But, my
Wow.
passion was always into construction sites and engineering and buildings. So, moved here, I've been here for 4 years now and blessed and happy. And Dubai is home now.
Wow, that is. Now, you guess what? Now, let me tell you all something, dollars. I have been talking with Aki for about 5 months since late September, I think, early October. And so I was introduced to her from a dear uh, friend of mine's. He's the best, and I want to give that to Dr. Larry D. Reed. And I'm in that community of the NBN network. But I had come to Dubai. I went to Dubai in 2019, set a trip to come there. And when I arrived there, I had the idea that I possibly wanted to do some investments there. I didn't know exactly how would I get into the market, in other words. So we're going to fast forward to 5 years. And from 2019, working all through COVID, getting here to this point now is where I met Aki in 2024. And so I got on the phone with her and we started talking, and she is just have so much information and golden nuggets that she dropped on me right then and there. So then I told her right then and there, I said, that's for me. You don't have to really finish. This is what we know we really want to do, my husband and I, right? And so she was very informative. So what we're going to be talking about today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I have done and what I have went through, and then Aki can come in and tell you how is the process really done and how that you can become a global investor as well. So when we started, I started out with the first apartment with Aki, and with the banking and how to set everything up. She was able to do online with you because everything can be done digitally. Believe it or not, we're in that digital, people, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. She was able to come on with me and give me the information and also do slideshows and everything to show you what the apartment looks like. She showed you what's coming up around the area where you may want to invest. She just has all the information right then and there, the diagrams and everything showing you percentage wise on how you can build your global investment, right? And how it can work for you on this side. So we did the first apartment, a key. And so go ahead and tell them about the first apartment that we done with you.
Okay. Before I, get onto that part, I would just like to mention over here in Dubai, the kind of rental income that you're making onto your investments, it's exceptional. It's phenomenal. Whether you decide to do a short-term rental or you decide to do, whether you decide to do a long-term rental or you decide to do the Airbnb model, the numbers turn out to be fantastic. The primary reason for that is you pay zero taxes inside of Dubai. None of
Say
your
that again.
earnings
Repeat
from
that again. Say that one more time, because that's a nugget right there. Say that one more time.
your returns from your investment, whether it's rental returns or capital appreciation from the apartment, is fantastic, even more so because you pay absolutely zero taxes onto any income that you make inside
Zero.
of Dubai. So it's zero taxes. You don't pay anything to the government. Whatever you're making through the apartment is entirely yours to do with as you wish. And, I come into contact with a lot of people who've been inside of Dubai for say 2 decades and they're still living inside of apartments that they're renting. Because the general perspective of people inside of Dubai is to purchase apartments, put it on rent, and just get an income from that. So what people in Dubai would do, they would just purchase multiple apartments, put everything on rent, and get a rental income, and then they would just use that money to sustain their lifestyle. Whether it's their kids' education, whether it's their wife shopping inside of Europe, whatever it is, it's all funded through the rentals that they're earning inside of Dubai. In fact, they don't buy a house for themselves, they're renting a house for themselves, and that rent is coming from the apartments that they own. So in the sense, when I first spoke with Constance, when I first spoke with you, we were actually talking about whether we should first target to get a residency, we should first open a business license inside of Dubai, or
Absolutely. That is
try to
correct.
get some resident visas and things like that. So get that first, and then move on to a property purchase. And that's when we had this conversation of, instead of investing into that visa today, invest into a property and get yourself earn residency through that property, and let the property churn out money for you, which in turn is going to fund all of your Dubai expense, at least in terms of your visas. Whenever you're coming to Dubai, traveling to Dubai, staying here, it funds that. It funds your overseas travels outside from the US.
Yes.
Whenever you're traveling outside, do not use your funds from the US, use your funds from Dubai. And it's an 100% completely online process. So from the point of actually sitting down with me over a Zoom call where I orient you to the entire city of Dubai, we talk about 3, 4, 5, 6 projects. We zero in on something, and all we need to book a property is a picture of your passport, and you can just easily and safely transfer funds from your account in the US to the
Yes.
escrow account of the developer over here. Even the Dubai Land Department, who registers the apartment in your name, they'll be sending you all the proof of ownership, all the documents through your registered email with them. So it's an absolute 100% digitally conducted process. And that's what, I would recommend to somebody who is looking at an investment specifically from the United States, because obviously the flight tickets are not cheaper. Staying inside of Dubai for, some time is not cheaper. Instead, use all of that fund to purchase an apartment. And once you have all of that in place, come down, we open a bank account for you in which the rent gets deposited. And every time you're in Dubai to enjoy the Dubai lifestyle of the luxury and the bling that Dubai is known for, it all gets funded through that apartment.
Absolutely. Now, tell me, that's a win-win, right? And then also what you can do too, I want that I found out from a key was that my property will be transferable to our children and to our estate and to our trust. So it goes on from there. And then also what she was speaking about was how easy it is to do digitally. And I thought that it would be a problem, but it has not been for me either. Sometimes you may have a little quirks with the bank if a number is off and if they don't know how to send money internationally. But other than that, I have not had any problems with that. And at this point now, we're at with 508 with the first apartment. With 508, we have met that bridge on the amount that we should have paid in, and now we're ready for the spa. Would you explain to them what the spa is?
Okay, so firstly, I'm going to address that question of inheritance, property inheritance inside of Dubai.
Yes.
When you're purchasing an apartment in Dubai, this is a very common question that we get from all of our clients that, what if something adverse happens? What if something happens to me? What happens to my property in that scenario, in that case?
Right.
So to put it very simply, what we do for our investors is we register a will against each property that they own inside of Dubai. For example, I want my daughter or my son to inherit the property in case something happens to me. I just take up a time with the Dubai court. I'm sorry. I just take up a time with the Dubai court wherein there will be a Zoom call exactly like how we are on a video call right now. A representative from the Dubai court is present, you are present, and your next of kin who is supposed to inherit the property is present on the call. And they just ask you, say, 3 or 4 questions. You answer that questions, and that is how the will gets registered inside the Dubai court. So, even in case of an adverse event, if something were to happen to you, the will ensures that your property is passed on to whoever you nominate for it to be passed on to.
That is amazing. And that's what really made my husband and I, it was just a no-brainer for us. Because once we found that out, then we knew this would be a great investment. And it was getting our portfolio because we were going to be doing some other investments as well outside of the country. And so we wanted to make sure that it would be able to be transferable to our in our legacy and be able to be transferred in our trust and to our family and our loved ones. So now, Key, go ahead and explain to them what the spa is. That's where we are, so you can tell them exactly where we are with the first apartment, 508.
Okay, so typically the process of property purchases, once we zero in on a particular apartment or a particular property, what I need from your end is a picture of your passport, so I can provide to the developer stating that, Constance Dial is interested in purchasing apartment number 508 in Sky Hills Residences 2 in Jumeirah Village Circle. So once that is done and we pay a small booking fee, typically that is 2 to 5% of the property price. And I remember Constance going with Michael to the bank to make that transfer that very morning. Yes. So once I have all those details and I go ahead and I submit it to the developer that they've submitted the token amount and they have their passport in place, and please generate the reservation form for us. At this step, the developer generates a reservation form, which is then signed by in this case, Constance and Michael, both of them, as they purchased it as a joint property. I get the reservation agreement, I submit it to the developer, and then what we have to do is complete the initial 20%, which is typically what we call it as a down payment. As per Dubai government laws, you have to complete 20% of the down payment along with the 4% fee that is used for registration, which is submitted to the Dubai Land Department, and in turn they register the apartment for you. Once we complete the 20% down payment and the 4% DLD fee, at that point, a sale purchase agreement, the SPA, a sale purchase agreement, is generated. This is basically a contract between you and the developer, which states all the terms of this purchase. It will state the details of your apartment, for example, what the floor is, what the apartment number is, what the view is, what the layout is, as well as the payment plan. So it states all these details of what exactly you've purchased from the developer, along with the payment terms that are decided between you and the developer. Once you sign it, once the developer signs it, this sales and purchase agreement is submitted to the Dubai Land Department along with the 4% fee that you paid for registration. And once it is submitted to the Dubai Land Department, They're going to proceed with the registration of an apartment. Mind it, this is all virtual process. Constance has not even come once to to Dubai from the US for any of these steps. This is 100%. She's doing it remotely. So once the sale purchase agreement is submitted, the 4% DLD fee is paid. DLD is going to register the apartment, and they're going to send you something that is called as an ukud, which is
Ukut.
proof
I
of.
love that. The ukut.
it's
Yes.
it's basically an Arabic term for title deed, or property ownership document, basically. So
Yes.
that code is sent to your registered email address directly from the government, which then you save in your computer, on your phone. You take a printout of it, keep it in your records. That is proof of ownership during the construction phase of that property. And
Absolutely.
now your apartment is registered in your name.
Absolutely. Okay, so now also, did y'all hear that about the ukut? And I had to get her to explain the word to me, but it means the same thing like in the US where we get the title deed and everything registered, the same as you would be if you were buying property in the US. Okay, so they called it the ukut. And so I was so impressed with, like I said, with the information, and I'm just impressed with the process and how easy it was. And I thought it was going to be a little bit difficult, but it wasn't. But now I do want to make sure, and let me put this out here. I do want to make sure that you all use the right realtors. Okay, so I don't want you to get with the wrong realtors. So I'm going to put all of Aki's information in the drop on this live that we're doing today, so that way you can get in contact with her. I really recommend their real estate company. I know there are others, and you may be able to find others, but I know for a fact this one is dope. So that's what we say in the U.S. This is dope, and it is trustworthy. It is you don't have to worry about your money getting taken, because there are so many different scams out there. So I do want you all to be aware when you're getting ready to do this. And as I've always said, number one, make sure you do research. Number two, research. And number three, research. So that way you're educating yourself as you're moving into something like this. And then that way you will lessen a zero chance of you getting scammed, because there's so many different things out there. So if you're not going to use what a key in their firm, then make sure you're using a right firm that will be the right one. Okay, in other words, I don't want you to get caught up out there with the wrong thing. But let's get right quickly back into. All right, so we get to Ukud, and now we're also dealing with the second property. So can you tell them exactly where we are with the second apartment that we have, which is property 1511 that we're working on right now, and we're in the early stages of that as well. And then also, Key, would you elaborate a little bit on why I decided to purchase this property on my own by myself and listed just with me, so that way we will be able to qualify for the golden visas. So would you elaborate a little bit on that as well? And also I will come back and say a little bit more about the golden visa.
Perfect. First of all, I would like to start by saying a very, very big thank you, Constance, for this shout out to all your community, your friends, your followers, all of them out there. I must say, Constance is my favorite client out there. She and her husband, they've been so supportive, and they've been very open and upfront with all their requirements, and whatever it is that they were stuck at, or whatever it is that they were thinking about, they just came outright and they discussed it with me, and then together we were able to address all of the concerns or all of the questions that they had. And I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Yeah, regarding the apartments, so the first property that Constance and Michael purchased jointly, that was roughly around the say 1.2 million, 1.3 million dirhams mark, and they purchased it jointly. The rules inside of Dubai are like, if you purchase singularly, apartments worth or real estate worth 2 million dirhams inside of Dubai, you qualify for applying a golden visa, which is a 10-year residency program inside of Dubai. And it comes with a lot of other benefits as well.
What
So
it does.
the first apartment that they purchased was say for 1.3 million dirhams, and it was a split between Constance and Michael. So saying it's about 650,000 dirhams worth, because it's a 50-50 partnership. So 650,000 dirhams comes into Constance, 650,000 comes under Michael.
Mhm.
So, they do not qualify the criteria for applying for a visa. So, and then, with the kind of payment plan that we have had with the apartment, it extended to post handover, and it was a very cash flow rich payment plan wherein the funds were continuously churning in and out of the property in terms of rentals and payments and everything. And she really loved the idea of that. So we ended up, getting another apartment inside the same building. This time, not a simple one-bedroom configuration, but a one-bedroom plus study configuration. Um, you know, and
And
since
you
the
know
beginning,
what, Keith, hold that for a point right there. I want to say, do you remember when I called you and I wanted to do another apartment? And we thought all those apartment was gone with the studios, remember?
yes,
And
that's
then while we were on,
yeah,
and you called to check, and
yes,
one come available, which is the one with the studio.
that's
How
correct.
amazing was that, right?
That's correct. In fact, the 15th floor that was actually purchased by one single person as an entire full floor deal. And that deal actually didn't go through. The person at the last moment decided to change his mind and it didn't go through. So all the apartments on the 15th floor got released back into the inventory, and every floor has just one bedroom plus study apartment. And the moment it came, I remember I gave you the call that the configuration you wanted is now available. Something's come back in the cancellation, and let's go ahead and get this one because it's a fantastic price point. But this time what we did was, instead of getting Constance and Michael on it as joint ownership, we gave the full ownership to Constance, because the
Yeah.
second apartment was worth 1.5 million dirhams, plus accumulating her first apartment's share, which is 50% of 1.3, which means 650,000 dirhams. That
Hmm.
made her cumulative investment in Dubai real estate over 2 million dirhams. And that qualifies her to be the primary member who can apply for the golden visa. And all of her family, including her spouse, her kids, her parents, can get visas based on her golden visa. So she can sponsor all of her immediate family members on that golden visa that now Constance has qualified for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so now, and I am so excited about that because I always wanted to, and I'm going to be doing some others because we're going to be doing some other business, but to get the golden visa there, so you can always go and look up the golden visa and find out what all the benefits that comes with it. But there are some amazing benefits to having the golden visa, and the golden visa lasts for 10 years, and then I believe then I would have to reapply at that point in time. But then by me joining and doing just what Aki said, then it opened me up to bring in my children, my husband, and I can sponsor them and our parents, right? So I want you all to think about that golden nugget as well when you begin to get into investing outside of the US. Then you have some of these other benefits that you may not be aware of if you meet these certain criterias. And so I am just so elated and excited about it. And just to think that when I made the trip in 2019 to go visit a girlfriend from high school and took some of my friends there with me on the trip, that I was looking at what I could do there in Dubai, but I didn't know exactly what. And then like 5 years later, with me continually doing research and thinking about different things and getting my mind ready for it, then the opportunity came. So I always believe that once you are ready for something, it shows up. Once you get the wisdom and the knowledge and you're in the place for it, it's going to show up for you. So make sure you do your due diligence on looking at what you want to do, how you want to move forward, and begin to check these things out, because there are other avenues on how you can build generational wealth, is what I want you all to also know. That you can get into other venues, you can get into other real estate markets like this one in Dubai. But I love the fact that Dubai is really safe. I love the fact that they're up and coming, and also they're just have a such a the architect there is just amazing, and everything is schools are beautiful. I mean, schools are great. Everything is just wonderful there, and I just like the climate. I just like everything about it. So that's why I wanted us to take this opportunity to jump in and get this. And Aki was right there on time to help us with that. And let me tell you something else about this young lady. Okay, and we're all women of color. All right. And so with Aki, I can call her at all times of night, because I have been like 4 o'clock here, and it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning there, and I'm stuck at the bank or whatever it may be. I have a question. She's always there to assist. And I want to tell you that lets me know that you really care about your people. It's not about just a sale to you. It's more than that to you. And I
Absolutely.
appreciate you doing all of that, because you wake up and you answer the phone calls, and she's always there. She's going to email you. She's just Johnny on the spot. She's going to be right there on time, so you won't be left out where you can't get hold to someone. She's not available. And they use WhatsApp, and if you can download that on your phone, and most everyone has it, you can be able to contact call, do voice calls, do video calls, whatever you may need. And she's right on it. So I want to thank you. Keith, could you think of anything else that we may can discuss today, or some last minute words, some nuggets that you want to leave with the viewers today while we're on?
We've pretty much covered everything, but I would also like to mention one thing over here. Whenever we talk about Dubai, we're mostly comparing Dubai with countries. We compare Dubai with the US, we compare Dubai with the UK, we compare Dubai with India. But actually, the comparison that is to be made in terms of real estate or lifestyle, it has to be done with the 80 cities around the globe. Namely, few of them are Singapore, London, Hong Kong, New York. These are the cities that Dubai should be compared with. And we don't understand that. Dubai is a city, it's not a country. But the difference between all these places that I listed and Dubai is that all of the other cities have been developed. They have been there for too many years. They've been around for too many years. Dubai is comparatively a very newer city, which has actually started building just 50 to 60 years back.
That's correct.
And Dubai is still developing. That's the key and primary difference between, say, a Dubai or a London, or say a Dubai and a Singapore. Singapore is completely developed, 100% developed. Dubai is still developing. I would say it's about 45, 50% developed. 50% is still yet to come up. Why I'm stating this fact is because that is the primary reason why today Dubai is giving us an opportunity to own properties or to purchase properties at the price point that today we are able to. Let's just compare one simple thing. 1 million US dollars. What would that get you in Hong Kong? What would that get you in Singapore? What would that get you in London? It's going to get you a small, tiny studio, somewhere between 250 to 350 square feet in size, in the outskirts of the city, very away from the center hotspots. Whereas using the same 1 million US dollars, today you can buy a full-fledged 2-bedroom apartment right in downtown with a private swimming pool on your balcony and with a direct frontal view of the Burj Khalifa. That's the
Wow.
difference between a Dubai and a London and a Singapore and a Hong Kong and a New York. And the primary reason why this is possible is because today Dubai is still developing. The day Dubai develops completely, or it's say 80-85% developed, and just the last 15% is remaining, prices are not going to be the same. it's not going to be as easy as it is today to purchase properties inside of Dubai at that point. So, I mean, the point is just, you're getting an 8-year city off the globe, and you're getting a price point that is not even comparable to the other cities that it is in the same league with. You cannot go wrong with this one.
I mean, you really can't. And you brought up something so that I want to elaborate on, and that was the fact that what are you buying and what are you getting for your money? And when you're talking about this, Dubai is only 50 plus years old. I think 51, 52 years old, and it is a country, and these other places are cities. And I have come to learn just so much information from being globally invested and just understanding other cultures and how things are moving. And one other thing that I really liked too was the fact that I would not be in debt for years and years, like a 30-year mortgage, dealing with these apartments. And so that's another point too, a key I wanted to bring out, because most people here in the U.S. are doing 20, 15, 20, and 30 years from one house of a mortgage. And I like the fact that Dubai don't want to keep you in debt for years and years and years, paying interest and interest and interest on the loans. So the way they set it up is easy payment systems that you can follow and come through with, that will be able, where you can set for your money, where you can put what you need to put down on it and move forward with that. But that was one of the key reasons why Michael and I decided to do investment as well, with investment property in Dubai, because we didn't want to be stuck for years paying for something. So that's really important too for us here in the U.S. and people that will be coming on listening, wherever you may be coming on from, that these are some things that you might want to think about, so you won't be heavily paying back with so much of interest to pay for one property. Absolutely right, Aki?
Absolutely. The ease of payment, not just that, but the kind of payment plans that some of the developers today are giving us, which also extend to post handover. And the fact that you pay 50% of the property price or 60% of the property price, get a handover, put a tenant inside, start earning rent just after paying 50 to 60%. And for the remaining 40-50%, you use those rentals. Where in the
Absolutely.
world do you get a facility like this, and you don't pay interest on it, and you don't pay taxes on it?
That's it.
Please tell me
I
one
mean, what
place.
better deal that you would be getting to be invested in Dubai? Or think about other places that you may want to be, but particularly today we're discussing Dubai, and that's where we decided to do our first international investment property, and we're just loving it and we're excited about it. So in about 12 months from now, in the first quarter of 2026, we will be heading to Dubai with our family to get our key handover. And I've already told Aki that we want to stay in the apartments when we get there. But also, I wanted them to know, the viewers today, I want them to know one more thing, that you will be renting our property out, and the property is not done monthly. You receive your rental income a year in advance. Would you tell them a little bit about that? And we just begin to wrap it up. But I wanted to make sure they know about that.
Absolutely. So, unlike most places in the world where you pay rentals on a monthly basis, you pay rentals every month. In Dubai, that culture is not very popular. Here, you're paying the entire. So always the tenancy is a 12-month contract, so 1 year's contract. So you're either paying the entire rent upfront, that is in one payment or one check, or maximum it goes to, say, like a 2 checks or 3 checks. So for example, you're getting, for your apartment, you're getting 90,000 dirhams. So at the beginning of the year, when the tenant is getting in, at that time you get the entire payment upfront. Or it's a 2 check thing. So you get 45,000 dirhams now and 45,000 dirhams 6 months later. Unlike, as opposed to, paying rent every month. That's something that's really not popular inside of Dubai. So the meaning of it is you get a lot of cash lump sum, which can actually be used to do, maybe you want to do another investment. So that's a cumulative amount that you get all together, which you can
Absolutely.
absolutely use somewhere else.
Absolutely. And then let me give y'all the best nugget ever that's going to really wrap us on up. Do you not know that these apartments come furnished? Furnished with high quality appliances like Bosch. And she's going to give you a list of some of the other what do you call them, Akid? The other appliances, where they come from, and the faucets, and everything is all picked out. And then it's also updated. Tell them a little bit about, I know we have in our apartment where everything's like on the wall, where it's all like updated with the lighting and everything. And I think it's also like real high end with that. So explain them with furnishings and all of that that comes with the apartment. So you don't have to worry about getting there and going and buying furniture and trying to do all of that. All of that is already there for you. And you have a balcony and everything. The furniture comes with the apartment. Now, how good can that? You can't get no better than that. All right, can't get no better than that. So explain that a little bit, Aki.
Okay, so both of Constance apartments inside of the project are fully furnished, and the developer is using really high quality fittings and furnitures inside the apartment. For example, in the kitchen, you get German appliances from Teka and Bosch. You have a built-in refrigerator from Teka. Your cooker is from Bosch. Both are industry leaders in this. The kitchen sink and the faucet are from Italian brands. So it's a scratch-proof sink that you have, which is from a brand called LC. And you have a faucet on top of it, cleaning and everything. That's from Nobly. These are both Italian brands who only specialize in making that kitchen sink and the faucet on top of it. In addition to that, you have Grohe as your bathroom fittings. You have your sanitary fittings from Grohe, which is again an industry leader.
Yes.
Home automation is from HDL. They were pioneers in the home automation technology. They were one of the first few companies to have that technology, so you can control everything from your phone, your lights, your curtains, all of that is controlled from your phone. In terms of even fittings, in the sense of giving you marble finish tiles on the floor, which are 1.2 by 1.2 meters in size, which are
It's
really big in
beautiful.
size. Typically, developers don't give such big tiles on the flooring. The reason behind it is, it makes the space look much more bigger in that sense. They take care of details like the entire wall, the tile of the wall inside the bathroom, inside the washrooms. They are a single slab from top to bottom. From the ceiling down to the floor, it's one single piece. Now these are not only more expensive than the small tiles that most of the developers use in their apartments, but it's more difficult to store them, it's difficult to ship it around, and even difficult to install. But then, the developer wants to give you top notch quality. They don't want to compromise on the quality of the fittings and furnishings inside the apartment. So they're going one step ahead, and they're giving you everything top notch and premium quality. In addition to that, of course, all your furniture, your curtains are already fitted in, your bed is there, mattress is there, the dining tables, the chairs, the side tables, all of that will be provided inside the apartment. It's literally a turnkey.
So look, because I was asking, I was like, well, what do we do? And when I found that out, that was another push for me. So that would be probably another push for you all, because you might have been thinking early on in watching us that you was probably got to think about furnishings. All of that is taken care of, and it is quality. When I tell you high quality, and it also kind of was like, I was looking at my own home when I looked at it, because the color scheme is what I have here, the grays and the whites and all of that. So it just went right with it. And then I knew about Bosch because I've had Bosch products here myself with appliances. So I knew about that. But everything is already there for you. And all you got to do is just get hold to a key and come on, let's become global investors. Join us with that and start building your legacy for your families, okay? And for yourself. All right. So, Key, I thank you so much for being with me today. It's very late over there. What time is it now there in Dubai? Yeah, we're gonna let her go so she can go to bed and get her beauty sleep. She's gorgeous anyway, and I just love her. I just love you to life. She's amazing, and so I can't wait to meet her in person. And we talk a lot on the phone and everything. So I love you so much, and I appreciate you. And you are a go-getter, and you have been very helpful to me today to help me with my viewers. And we're educating people and empowering people and giving you the exposure that you need. So that's what you get when you drop in here on Dial In with Dr. D's page. Okay? So blessings to you, Aki, and have a wonderful night. Talk to you soon.
Thank
Blessings.
you so much.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye bye.